Alright, let's talk about a functional unit. A functional or a computer in its simplest form comprises five functional units, namely input unit, output unit, memory unit, ALU, and the control unit. So as you can see here in figure 2, it depicts the functional units of the computer system. So we have the input output here and the memory unit, and then this one would be the CPU or the processor. So the processor or the CPU contains the control unit and arithmetic logic unit, which is responsible for processing all data. Now let's discuss each of them in brief. Now we have the input unit. I'm pretty sure you know what input units are in computers. Computer accepts encoded information through input unit. So for example, when we type or when we click, so for example, when we click on our keyboard, that would be inputting something. The standard input device is a keyboard. So whenever a key is pressed, keyboard controller sends the code to CPU or memory. So that basically means that when we input letters or any numbers, that would uh, technically sends the code to the CPU or memory. It will send the code to the CPU and then decode, because once again, the computer cannot understand human language. So examples of input units are mouse, joystick, tracker ball, light pen, digitizer, scanner, and etc. Okay, that includes keyboard. Now we also have memory unit. Memory unit stores the program instructions. Okay, that is the code. So instructions, data, and results of computations. Memory unit is classified as the primary or the main memory and the secondary memory. So in primary memory, that is a semiconductor memory that provides access at high speed. Runtime program instructions and operands are stored in the main memory. Main memory also classified as ROM and RAM. ROM holds system programs and firmware routines, such as BIOS. We also have POST and the input-output drivers that are essential to manage the hardware of a computer, whereas RAM is termed as read or write memory or user memory that holds runtime program instructions and data. Okay, so basically, primary storage is essential. It's volatile in nature and expensive. And additional requirement of memory could be supplied as auxiliary memory at cheaper cost. Secondary memories are non-volatile in nature. Okay, so what's the difference between ROM and RAM? ROM, or the read-only memory, is it's a memory that when you turn off your computer, the data remains the same. Okay, that's why when you buy laptops, no, the most common today is the 1 terabyte na ROM. That is the storage. Okay, whereas the RAM, okay, we have 4 gigabytes, 8 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes. So it's non-volatile. Okay, which just basically means non-volatile is when you turn off your computer, the data will be lost. So ganun po siya. For example, when you open Google Chrome, okay, so the RAM will be functioning, yung memory na RAM will be functioning to store the data that you open the Chrome, and then when you turn off, ma-erase po siya. Whereas sa ROM, which is the storage, the data will remain. So nandun pa rin siya kahit mag-brown out or anything. Now let's talk about the arithmetic and logic unit. So ALU consists of necessary logic circuits like adder, comparator, and etc. to perform operations of addition, multiplication, and comparison of two numbers and etc. Whereas the output unit So the computer after computations return the computed results error message via output unit. So after computations returns the computed results na ay mga error messages via output unit. So what's the output unit? Those are mga standard like the monitor, video monitor. We also have LCD monitor, no? So other output devices are printers, plotters, and etc. So common po na input unit ang monitor. Okay? So we also have control unit. Control unit co-coordinates activities of all units by issuing control signals. Control signals issued by control unit govern the data transfers and then appropriate operations take place. Control unit interprets or decides the operations or action to be performed. So, see, arithmetic and logic unit and control unit, they are under the memory uh, or the processor rather, or the CPU. So, si ALU would consist of logic circuits, so more on arithmetic, no, and logic one. While the control unit coordinates all units by issuing control signals. So, yun po yung difference nila. Then, si input and output unit, si input unit is from the word input itself, it will accept, no, all the instructions that will be asked or that will be done by the user. For example, typing B or right-clicking a mouse, and then it will automatically send or transmit the data to the CPU. The CPU now processes everything, and then it will send the signal to the output unit, which is the LCD. So kung mag-right click ka, no, na ay mga process na may tabuan na para mugawas ang isa ka butang. Okay, that's all about it. So thank you for listening. That's it for the functional unit.